Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm doing a review of the Prolast leather boxing speed bag. So check it out. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here. Today I'm doing a review of the Prolast boxing speed bag. This retails for $149 on the Fight Shop website. Now, there's one thing I did want to mention is that I bought this at Fight Shop in Costa Mesa, California. They do have, I believe, 6 brick and mortar stores throughout Southern California, including Las Vegas. So if you happen to be in the area, you can swing by there and take a look at what they have to offer. They do sell all types of boxing equipment. So I was down there visiting Southern California, decided to swing by in Costa Mesa, and I ended up purchasing this together along with other couple pieces of gear. One thing I also wanted to mention is I believe that they're related, if not loosely related, to the Prolast brand. I don't know if the owner of Prolast is the same owner of Fight Shop. I think they might be, maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I get from that. And there's 2 different websites, which makes it a little bit confusing. They have the Prolast website, which sells just all Prolast gear and some other stuff. And then they also have the Fight Shop website, which is more of like representative of their brick and mortar store. Now, this particular bag is on their website for $149. They do advertise that it is made in the United States, which I'll touch on here in a second. But it's a different color on the Fight Shop website. And then you can go to the Prolast website. They have a different model that's cheaper. I believe it's at $89 or $79, but they say that one's made in Mexico, but they say this one is made in the USA, and it's $149. But we'll discuss that here in a second. Now, specs wise, this bag is an 8x5. It does have a tag on here that says XS or extra small, but it is an 8x5, meaning that it's 8 inches in height and 5 inches in diameter around the belly of the bag. It is a black, red, and white colorway, so nothing too crazy there. That's a pretty common colorway you see in boxing equipment. Usually the red and black and white is oftentimes what a lot of companies use for their gear. It is full genuine leather. You do have the loop up top with the metal rivets on both sides, and you also have the lace closure right there that you can open up if you do need to replace the bladder. You do have kind of these vaulted seams in between each panel with the Prolast logo on the white panel on both sides, the Prolast rhinoceros on both sides. And then at the very bottom, you do have the inflation port where you put the needle. It says lubricate needle, crafted with pride USA. Yeah, lubricate needle before inflating. Now, one thing I'm a little skeptical on is whether or not this bag is made in the United States. Now, I know they say it is, it says made in USA, but this bag really gives me like Pakistan vibes, if that makes sense. Like the leather on here, is more of like a Pakistan style leather. Just the craftsmanship is, you know, solid, but it's not something I would expect from an American made product. Like usually when I see, you know, equipment that's made in the USA, whether it's like 1v1, Barrick, Gollum, there's only a handful of American made artisans. Usually the leather is very thick and it's a different grade of leather. It just has more of a vintage, thicker, unique feel. The stitching is pretty much perfect. It just feels like a piece of equipment that's gonna last a very, very long time. And with this bag, I feel like this, again, you know, it just gives me that vibe that it's a Pakistan product. Now, again, it says made in the USA, even on their website, so take that for what it is, but just kind of giving you guys my honest thoughts on that, on whether it's made in the United States or if it's made overseas. It says made in USA, but who knows? Quality-wise, it's solid. The issue I have with it is after about a month of using the bag, you'll notice that this black leather panel started to rip a little bit. And that kind of goes back to the quality of this bag. For $150 for a speed bag, for it to already have this little tear at the bottom is, I mean, after a month is unacceptable. And you can also see where it's starting to split right where the welted seams are at. So you can see some splitting right there of that leather, and I'm definitely not a fan of that. And it's on this particular panel that you have a little bit of that imperfection. You know, the stitching up top is decent. everything else. I mean, there's not much to it, right? There's not much material to this bag. It's just it's a speed bag. So in terms of, you know, having a lot of different material and areas to stitch, there's not much to it compared to like a glove where you have different crevices and curves and all types of stuff that can really affect the performance and quality of the glove. So let's go ahead and stop talking and get this bag mounted so you guys can see how it performs. Go ahead and slide this hook in. So the hook hooks in nicely. I'm gonna slide it up into the swivel. All right, and the cotter pin, of course, don't want to forget that. And yes, if you guys are asking, I did a follow-up video on this Speedbag platform. I made this during COVID. Did a video on it, became really popular. I think this Speedbag platform, like out the door at Home Depot, everything was about like 80 bucks. Then I had to buy the swivel, which was like another $30. So like $100 to $110 if you're looking at it, but still holding up strong. I haven't done anything to it. Still the same screws I've used, exact same platform. You'll notice that the 8x5 is actually perfect in terms of like the radius around this particular Speedbag platform. So I do like the size and the fact that it's more compact and that I don't have to worry, especially if your platform is like mine where it's butted up against the back wall. I don't have to worry about if I go this direction, it won't hit the wall, it won't hit the drywall. So in terms of size, I definitely like that. Performance-wise, this bag is great. The performance of it kind of reminds me of the Reyes Speed Bag. I did a review on the Reyes bag years ago, and that one performed great. It reminds me of that, just the feel and the rebound of it. Very reactive and snappy. And feels good. I mean, pretty well balanced as well. So in terms of those of you that are into all those crazy tricks like the Speedbag Skunk and all those guys that are way more skilled than I am with the Speedbag, I could definitely foresee this bag being really nice to use, especially for those of you that I know a lot of them don't use this type of swivel. They use that ball. I think it's like a ball and hook swivel. Thrasher House sells those, but they use that because they do a lot of like side to side motions too, and then like all these crazy tricks and backwards. And I think that ball swivel works a lot better in terms of movement. It's more smoother and it doesn't get kinked up like this type of swivel does. But for me, this is perfect because I just use it for conditioning and just, you know, my hand and eye coordination. One thing that's worth mentioning as well is that the bladder is held up well, so that's a good thing. I've had it in my garage pretty much this entire summer here in Phoenix, which was the hottest summer, I think, on record. I think we had like 120 days of 100+ degree weather. And you know what that does with heat and like latex rubber in these bladders. They typically, the glue in there, that basically is glue right here at the bottom of the bladder where they connect this port. When it's really hot, that can eventually damage if you have your speed bag in your garage, if it's not, you know, air conditioned, and do damage. But surprisingly, the bladder is held up. Now, again, like any bladder, you will have to reinflate it over a period of time because the air will eventually leak out slowly, right? But it's actually held up well, and I use this speed bag pretty regularly in between me training here in my garage and at the gym. So it's held up nicely. So overall, to me, it's a really nice performing speed bag. I think it looks really clean. The biggest issue I have with this is obviously going to be the quality and the price. $150. I mean, there's so many great speed bags under $100. I mean, anywhere between like $50 you can find a good speed bag that's leather to $100. So definitely think it's way overpriced for what it is. Quality is a big concern, and then just you know, whether or not it's really made in the USA. I mean, if it's not, then don't put that it's made in USA. Just put wherever it's made on. People are not critical in that regard. I mean, 80 to probably 90% of the, you know, boxing equipment is made in Pakistan, which is not a bad thing. It's just what it is, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of great brands that have Pakistan manufacturing, and they're off top. Boxer makes great gear. You know, obviously Rival has a lot of Pakistan. Phenom makes awesome gloves and equipment. So nothing wrong about that. But I feel like if you're going to do it, then, you know, make sure that it is, what it says it is. So hopefully that makes sense. But good performing speed bag, but just overpriced in my opinion, and better options for that price. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys put them down below. I'll put the link in the description box where you can get this Prolast speed bag, and I will see you guys later. Peace.